What's going on, Paisanos? V here, and it's like 100 degrees out today. So you know what? Why don't we just do a little moto vlog instead of do a video in my room with the AC on? Like, come on now. So where's the balance, Konami? Huh? I mean, you promised us the end of the month. You didn't literally say, hey, on the 31st at 11:59 p.m. we'll drop the balance. But basically, we figured it'd be around the end of the month, but not. You get what I'm saying? Like, you guys are really stretching the end of the month, aren't you? A lot of players are wondering what's going to be on the balance, and we go into this thing where I call it the great player negotiation, where everyone just starts talking about like what could be on the balance, and okay, fine, you know, if this card will go to 3, but I want this card all to the, so everyone like kind of negotiates at locals for the balance, like it actually does matter. Something about that I always find really funny. Everyone's in this weird flux waiting for the bans to happen, and to be honest with you, it's hurting a lot. Like, obviously it's hurting the competitive players in the game because nobody really wants to go to regionals because they're so burnt out in this boring meta. Nobody wants to buy cards because there's a chance the cards you buy can be hitting the ban list. Nobody really wants to innovate on their decks because why? It's going to change soon, so why even change anything in period? Everyone's kind of in a weird stasis. Hell, I barely want to make any YouTube videos, even though I'm like in a real YouTube video making mood, because of how bad the meta is, alongside with the fact that we're allegedly getting a ban list any second now. Hell, as you're watching this video, right here, there's a chance that we're gonna get a ban list. It's happening right now, actually. Go on Facebook, they're talking about it. But before we like dogpile on Konami, and to a degree that they should be dogpiled, before we do that though, we gotta understand that Konami isn't fully to blame. You see, let's say we want a nuke of a ban list, which I think everyone in the YuGiOh player base wants. We want a nuke ban list, we want everything blown up, all good to go, just nuke it up, Konami, okay? The problem with that is, if Konami TCG says, okay, player base, that's what we want to give you, they still have to verify the ban list with Konami OCG. So there's a bit of a back and forth. Konami OCG now has to turn around and basically verify the ban list back and forth with the TCG. Fine, we'll allow these cards, but not these cards. And then Konami TCG has to negotiate the ban list with the OCG. And things aren't done as fast as you would like. Konami OCG isn't sitting there by the computer waiting for TCG to send them the ban list so they could go over it. They're basically negotiating and haggling for the state of the game for the next foreseeable months. So the idea of a nuke ban list might not actually happen. And I'm not sure if players really understand it or not, but that's the truth. We might not get a nuke of a ban list. And it's not because the TCG doesn't want it, it's because between the TCG and OCG negotiations, we might not just get that. Now, don't get me wrong, let me just say right now, I love the idea of a Konami nuke ban list. I think our meta should be nuked. This meta is terrible. But that's not going to be that might not be the case. And if it's not, everyone's going to be freaking out and blaming Konami. And it's really not their fault. Like, they might honestly do want to do a nuke ban list, but that might not just be in the cards. What we're going to get here is a ban list in which hopefully is going to calm down a lot of decks in the meta, because anything with Fiendsmith is arguably the best deck in the game. Snake Eyes, Yubel, like these are 2 of the best decks in the game. We have like 4 FTK decks, and you barely hear about them because Snake Eye and Fiendsmith are that damn good in the game. That's how bad our meta is. It's pretty bad on meta. And the reason why it's like that is obviously because Konami went crazy, went releasing power crap cards around the time of Nationals. Literally, the weekend of Nationals, a $400 sub engine. Kinda crazy. I hate this term. So don't expect the ban list to be huge or crazy, because if it's not because Konami TCG didn't try. They probably did try, but the OCG probably negotiates because they have an idea of how they want our meta to go. The OCG has the ability and I'll say it nice and clearly so everyone can hopefully understand me. The Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG has the ability to make our ban list exactly the same as the TCG. Let me say that one more time for the people in the back. Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG's ban list can be exactly the same as Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG's ban list. Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG, though, is not allowing that to happen. Thank Konami, OCG. Now, with that said, we should probably go on and talk about like what could happen, because if we do get a ban list and it's not going to be as huge, I'm just bracing for the chance that we do not get a nuke ban list. What could happen? Like, we could very well get a ban list that's not that as big as what we expect to happen, which is honestly a nuke ban list. And if that's the case, then we got to talk about the cards that are going to be coming on and off the ban list that's going to have an impact on the metagame. That's the most important part. Now, a lot of players go back and forth and negotiate. A lot of players talk about what could be, what could not be. And I think the safe bets here, arguably, that everyone universally agrees with, would be a card like Dimension Shifter. Like, that's going to get banned. Blanket effects get banned. Hold on. Hold the fuck on. Ladies. Look at this method in front of me. It's a green light. You good? Fucking meth head. I think Shifter is definitely a card that's going to get banned. I think that's going to be almost a given. Potentially, we might see a limit. At the worst, a semi-limit, but it's going to get hit in the ban list in so much way, shape, or form. I think that is a given. I think every Yu-Gi-Oh player kind of understand that is going to happen. Shifter with a lot of upcoming archetypes that we know we're going to be getting is going to be too broken for the game. Konami has to preemptively modify that, and they can't do it to new cards, so they're going to hit something like Dimension Shifter. That's a given. With that said, there's a lot of other cards, though. I mean, let's look at Snake Eyes right out the gate. The Diabellstar engine is not going to get touched because Konami is going to reprint that engine. We know Diabellstar is going to get a reprint, so I think it's safe to say that we don't have to worry too much about that happening. So if you do have the Diabellstar engine max rarity, I don't think you have to worry. If you have a max rarity wanted engine, you're fine. And I think one of the first things that comes to mind is going to be the Snake Eyes Flamberge Dragon. That's probably going to get hit. Flamberge ban, limited Snake Eye Ash. Now another problem is going to be YuBell. Will YuBell get hit? I was talking to a guy at Locals about this yesterday. If anyone that plays YuBell competitively, let me know if this is true. I was told that YuBell is like a stack of cards, and the minute you hit one thing in YuBell, the whole stack falls. Is that true? Either way, I think YuBell is still pretty broken and more than likely going to be hit somewhat way, shape, or form on this ban list. I don't know. I don't know realistically how YuBell will be hit or what will be hit in YuBell, but I think YuBell's gonna have to get hit. The deck is just as good as Snake Eyes. The deck is just as consistent, and the deck can also create some pretty stupid boards and recur those pretty stupid boards. So YuBell getting hit to me is almost a given. The question is what would be hitting YuBell, and I really don't know. Because these are the two tier 0 decks in the game, and figuring out what's going to get hit in them is really difficult because I think they're both very good decks, and I think a lot of players are going to want to try to still play them after the ban list, but ultimately, Konami's ban list is going to have an impact on those two decks. I'm not done yet, though, because Tempai is not out today, okay? The Tempai field spell in OCG is limited to 1, and I think that makes a lot of sense. I think one of the Tempai field spell makes perfect sense, and I think that needs to be limited, 100%. Does Tempai really need to be hit after that? Not really. I think anyone saying that is just coping. Or anyone saying that is just mad because they got shifted Molcharmy. And then someone summoned Chandra and then cooked them. Shifter being hit in so much way, shape, or form, and field spell going to once is more than enough to like really neuter Tempai. Any other hits, you're just trying to kill the deck. And I don't think Konami's going to want to kill that deck before they make a reprint. Like a super rare Chandra and OTS pack or something like that. So I think if you own Tempai, you're still in a good position, but you will be getting impacted by the ban list. No doubt in my mind. About Maxi, and you can players act like a bunch of little bitches. No, V, not Maxi, V. V, Maxi, my pussy's gonna hurt, V. And then the Konami releases a more Charmy that's basically Maxi, and they're like, I'll take 3. I'll take 3 QCR, daddy. Like, get the fuck together, okay? Not to mention we already have another more Charmy in the meta that's a slower version of Maxi. So we already have like a slower version of Maxi. We're getting a better version of Maxi. At this point, just release Maxi within a router, and then the router just say, hey, listen, if you control no cards, you're gonna activate this. That's simple. And what were the best metas in Yu-Gi-Oh? Oh yeah, V, I really like that meta where we had a FTK deck. It was really fun. Or, hey V, I really like the meta where we had Mystic Mime. I wish you could go do edits the format for Mystic Mime. Like, no one's saying that. Every meta is a meta in which the game was a lot slower, but the deck still can, you know, do their thing, have combos, have plays. And I think that's something that a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players really like and enjoy. And whenever we're in that kind of meta, the game is pretty much fun. Now, are there still more super duper combo decks in there? Sure, but nowhere near as much, but it's more mid-range. And that's the meta a lot of players enjoy, and I think Konami, if they had it their way, they would probably push more for that. And by releasing Maxi, it will allow players to play at slower gameplays. What's going to happen as far as the ban list? Well, let's be honest, Konami's going to release it the last second. Like, it's going to happen the last second they're going to release it. And Yu-Gi-Oh players are going to be upset, because I feel like Konami's not going to have enough hits that's going to make everybody universally happy. I mean, normally there's always like someone who's not happy about the ban list, but I feel like there's going to be more of a bigger contingent of players who will see their deck getting slammed and other decks basically getting the pass, and not realizing the fact that had Konami TCG had it their way, they'd probably slap everything and do a nuke ban list, which we honestly do deserve. So, telling you right now, if you're playing Tempai, you might survive the ban list unharmed. And then you turn around and you look at like YuBell and Snake Eyes on the floor. Or, how about this? Look at the OCG. Dude, the OCG pretty much allowed YuBell to like do whatever and destroy the crap out of Snake Eyes and Tempai. And that was boring. But I mean, you know, it is what it is. There's nothing really much you can do. We kind of got to see what's happening with the balance. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if one of the top decks just go fully unharmed. We're talking Kiss on the Head. We're talking, you know, a little chef kiss on the top of the forehead. You know, don't go too crazy on meta, okay? Tempai, and some players are just sitting there giggling, going, "We're gonna fuck this meta up." So that might happen, guys. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, comment down below. It's your boy V and YuGoPaisanos. Hey, you have a good day.